Okay, PC fam. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are. Happy to have y'all here for another day of great basketball talk. That's what we do here on Chill with Chill. Chill, what's going on? How you feeling today?
Hey man, it's basketball season. I'm running good. It's a real good Saturday. Great day to talk hoops, man. Great day to talk hoops. Let's do it.
No doubt. I hope y'all in the
hmm
chat. I hope y'all can focus today. I hope y'all didn't eat too much candy last night, so you're not too jittery jumping around. Let's lock in.
hmm
Let's talk some good hoops. We were on playback last night. We jumped around to a couple of games, but we were mainly there and mostly focused on watching the Boston Celtics take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Chill, this game
hmm
went down to the wire. Um, Philly didn't really get off a good attempt at the game winner, but it went down to the wire for all intents and purposes. Chill. We had some pretty good performances. Let's start with talking about the once Finals MVP himself, Jalen Brown.
hmm
Chill. What did you see from
Yes, sir.
JB, and what do you expect to see for him for the rest of the season?
I just seen a player that's more comfortable. Right? Don't get me wrong, Ox. I'm not. I'm not largely. I don't love him handling the basketball as much as he does, but he
Right.
just seems more comfortable and more aggressive in that offense that he's in. Because if I'm being honest, I mean they don't get a lot from a lot of the other guys, and I thought Philly did, especially down the stretch, play some good defense. I thought that they should have won that game off the strength that they could have taken advantage of their big guy a little bit more. But I think that there's this magnet, like there's this magnet when it comes to Joel Embiid in the basket. Like it's almost like when we get late in the game, he's allergic to it, where he can't operate in that area, which would make him much more effective. But I think Jalen Green, a lot of the stuff that he gets today, he got it last year when he was playing with Jason Tatum. It's just different today, where like he's running off more screens. He's handling the basketball more. He's getting downhill a little bit more. They're involving him more in the offense, and like he looked really good, man. He did. He looked really good. I think he could have done a little bit better job taking care of the ball, just like I think Boston could have done a better job taking care of the basketball. But with that being said, I mean, I think that they're comfortable with Jalen Brown being their man offensively in terms of being a bucket getter. Um, he's much more effective, I think, with Jason Tatum,
Mm-hmm.
because Jason Tatum has a tendency to, because he's such a good passer, because he's such a good scorer, and the amount of attention that he garners as a defensive as an offensive player, he takes a lot of pressure off guys. That's what makes Jalen Green so good. But I think that we're seeing how good Jalen Green is. Why I keep calling him Jalen Green? I think we're seeing how good Jalen Brown is. I apologize. I think we see how good Jalen Brown is when he's actually operating with the ball in his hand, where we're running sets for him. And particularly when we get him in transition and he has the ball 2, 3 dribbles and he could get to the rim. Because I thought he did a good job last night in that stuff. No doubt. I keep calling it. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jalen Brown, not Jalen Green. No.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with how he played last night.
hmm
Obviously, and we talked about it last night. It's one of those things with Jalen that we're gonna expect. Some unforced turnovers. We're gonna
Yep.
expect some forced turnovers.
Yep.
But overall, I think when he's aggressive like that, I think he plays pretty good basketball. He's still a heck of a defender too. Um, Philly, chill. I mean, when you look at that team, and we spoke about this maybe just like a game into the season. We didn't take as
Yep.
much time into the preseason and in the season. It didn't take us much time to realize we might have spoken too fast. We I know me myself. I walked it back very fast. I didn't.
hmm
I'm not saying I think they're now a top four, even the top five seed in the East. But
Yep.
it was a point when we were preparing for the season where I basically wasn't even talking about Philly. Like it's
Me
not a
neither.
team worth talking about. But
hmm
Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and the fact that Joel Embiid actually can play, because I didn't even think he was going to be playing at this point,
hmm
is it made me walk that back very quick. Um,
Yep.
Tyrese Maxey, he was playing good basketball. Too. I feel him
hmm
and the young fella VJ. I feel like they got a connection. I feel like Tyrese always know where he is on the floor. And what did
Yep.
Tyrese end with last night? 14 assists or 13 assists, something
Yes.
like that.
14 assists he had last night.
14. Yeah, he was
hmm
moving the ball around, scoring what he wanted. But it was just that last minute of basketball from Philly, where and they could have just got so much more than that. I think the little fall away midi thing that Tyrese tried to put up, I think he could have got a better
hmm
look than that. I think that very last possession, although it was only 4 seconds, 4 seconds is more than enough time to get a good shot off. And I just don't think they ran a proper set to give him an opportunity to do that. It ended
Yeah.
up with Joel taking a 3-pointer past the buzzer. So they just didn't execute. I just don't think they executed.
I marveled at how, and I actually said this to you last night. I dug how Peyton Pritchard went after the rook, VJ Edgecombe early, and I've said to you in the past, Ox, you know, if you're a rookie, one thing is a fact: you're gonna get your ass kicked. And he could have folded up in that particular situation, but instead, he just kept going. He stayed aggressive as an offensive player. He kept challenging Peyton Pritchard, and he started to slow him down a little bit in the second half, which I thought was good. I felt like with Peyton Pritchard, he made it a point to go after VJ Edgecombe early, basically to try to take him out of the game, and it didn't work. And I thought VJ did a good job of staying focused and understanding that guys are going to go on runs and guys are going to make shots. He was getting in the lane on VJ. He was bumping him, and I don't think people give Pritchard enough credit for the downhill guy that he is, even though he's small, for the downhill guy that he is. But I thought VJ did a great job in just staying connected to Peyton Pritchard and guarding at the long ball line, and also fighting around screens and navigating screens. I thought he did a good job at that. I think their communication could have been a little bit better defensively, but Ox, I've said this to you before, and I'm still standing on it. I'm out on the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm out on them. I'm out on the process. I think the process has already processed. I think that you keep Joel Embiid on the floor, you play him for as much as you possibly can, and then you dangle him. Because watching both VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Halliburton, Maxey last night, watching these two guys tells me I got my team. I got my foundation. And these are the guys that I'm trying to build my unit around, both him and Edgecombe. And for all intents and purposes, I think Tyrese, the thing that I liked about him the most last night was when he was getting downhill, he wasn't just getting downhill to score. And I know that we live in a league where the lead guard has to score, but he wasn't just getting downhill to score, right? He was getting downhill to be a playmaker, to beat up on big guys, not just to beat up on big guys, to also look for guys on the wing. I mean, he found Quentin Grimes 2 or 3 times wide open, and Quentin Grimes ended up knocking down some shots. He also found Kelly O. Kelly O, I think, likes that left wing, particularly at the break at the long ball line. He found him 2 or 3 times where he was wide open and he hit him in rhythm. And I mean, that just I feel like that just comes with continuity and just being on the floor with guys. I think the X factor here, and I know how much all of you guys love. I know how much all of you guys love Joel Embiid and how much of a talent he is. But I think that the process is finished. I think that we've done everything that we could possibly do with this group, with Joel Embiid. I want to prop him up. I want to put him out there, and I want to show people what he can do, and then I'm moving on from him. I'm good. I got my foundation, which is both Edgecombe and Maxey.
The process has been over for about 4 years.
You've been saying that to me, Ox. I just wasn't listening.
Yes.
You've been saying that to me. I just wasn't listening. I wasn't. I thought, like, Ox, we could still get there. Like we're really not that far away. Only to find out that you were right. You've been telling me this for years. Chill. The process is over. Like we should have been moved on from this.
And we spoke about it last night, Chill. I don't think that it's impossible to move Joel Embiid. I think there's plenty of teams out there that will take Joel Embiid and give you maybe not what he was worth 2-3 years ago, but you can get something for Joel. I know I said yesterday, what about Walker Kessler and some picks? And as soon as I said Walker Kessler, Chill, you stopped me. You said, no, don't say nothing else. Make it happen right now. So. You know, there's moves to be made, and I just hope that they do the right thing over there in Philly. There was some pretty good performances last night besides just Jaylen Brown. I want to talk about a guy that I think we're particularly high on this year, and that's Josh Giddey. 32, 10, and 9 last night against the New York Knickerbockers. So Mike Brown says we were getting blown by time and time and time again. In the first half, our defense was pretty much non-existent, Chill. And Josh Giddey felt the same way. So what's that to say about Josh Giddey? And the New York Knicks in general. I mean, I think people thought that just because Mike Brown was the coach and he's a defensive minded, that all of a sudden the defense would just turn up,
Mm-mm.
or
That's
what?
not the and that's not the case at all, Ox. So this is the first time the Bulls since the 95-96 season and the 96-97 season have started 5-0. This is the first time that that's happened. I think this is more of a run than this is indicative to who they are. I did not think that they would be this good. Vooch is another one who I feel like I'm ready to move on from him, but not yet. Like I feel like with Vooch, he gives you a presence in the post that we don't have, because I don't think Basellis is there yet. I think he's developing, but I also feel like maybe Vooch might be getting in the way of him developing. And I think the Josh Giddey Basellis tandem, it just looks really good. But to your point about Mike Brown, Ox, when you have two guys who are as defensively deficient as both Jalen Brunson and Cat, when you building your unit around that, you got to have guys to protect them. And don't get me wrong, I thought OG dealt with Josh Giddey from time to time. I thought Mikal Bridges had dealt with him from time to time. Only problem with that, Ox, is that's not really my responsibility, because I got other things to do. Like I gotta deal with their energy guys off the bench, right? That's who I gotta that's who I gotta deal with. I gotta deal with Matas Basellis. I gotta deal with guys like that coming off their bench instead of dealing with Josh Giddey all night, who's basically just blowing by Jalen Brunson whenever he gets an opportunity and getting to the rim. And on top of him blowing by them, no, Mitchell Robinson, he really didn't give them much last night that I was particularly blown away by. I mean, he was good on the glass. I'm not going to argue that point, but I thought that he could have given them more minutes. I thought that he could have been a better rim protector. They didn't really get a lot of resistance at the rim, and I think that was largely due to both Jalen Brunson and Cat. That's who's killing us. When we talk about on defense, the Bulls, particularly Josh Giddey, did everything that he could to keep, whenever Jalen Brunson got on him, to keep him in the action. Get him in switches, get him in pick and roll, and keep him in action and get by him. And Josh Giddey is definitely, I didn't give him enough credit for this, but Josh Giddey is one of the better court processors in the game. I was high on him, just like you were telling me about how Jaylen Brown is awesome. I've been talking to you guys about Josh Giddey over the years. I didn't like the fit in Oklahoma City. He needs the basketball. He is your lead guard. He is the guy you should be running the offense, who should be your primary ball handler. It just didn't work in Oklahoma City because we already got a guy like that in SGA. So now he's in Chicago. His court processing, I did not give him nearly as much credit as I should have. He's a lot smarter than what I thought. Like, he got downhill one time and he had seen DeSarmo in the corner, and DeSarmo was wide open. And he ends up, because he knew that DeSarmo had just made a shot, he ends up faking to DeSarmo, drags the defense, gets guys in the air. They come back to him, and he fires it out to DeSarmo again. I mean, like, that's good basketball, right? That's not basketball that you see every day. And I think one of the things that I didn't recognize about Josh Giddey is I just didn't talk about it as much. His ability to rebound as a big guard is just unmatched. I mean, he's 6'8". And the fact that he's 6'8" and he can help guys like Vooch on the glass, guys like Smith on the glass, I just think that makes them much better. They're in the top. I think they're fourth in the league in defense right now. Fourth in the league in defense. They're right outside the top 5 in offense. I like what I'm seeing from this Bulls team. I do, Ox. I think that they're on to something in Chicago. Now, are they like a top 3 seed good? I'm not going to go that far, because I think that we just got started. And then, we're going to get into the dog days of the season. But I feel like, guys like the Somu energy guys can continuously bring that energy. I love this kid Smith. I've liked him when he was in Indiana. I liked him now with the Bulls. Straight energy guy. He will rim protect. And I think that they give the Bulls, let me rephrase that. They give the Bulls something different that other teams don't have. So I like what they got going on in Chicago.
Smith, he was at LSU with Nas Reed, right?
I think he went to Maryland, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was him. He went to Maryland or LSU. I remember that game.
Mm-hmm.
I watched them play in college, Maryland versus LSU, and pretty much it was just a good game. That was my first time ever seeing Jalen Smith, was that Maryland LSU game. I couldn't remember if he was on the team with Nas or if they was playing against each other. But but either way though, Chill, the whole Josh Giddey thing. When the trade happened, if you remember, I was like, Y'all do know Josh Giddey's better than Alex Caruso, right? Like
Clearly not.
know,
Nobody. When you said that, Ox, people was like, "What are you talking about, Ox?" And you were like,
right,
"Yo, I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys know this, but he is better than him. Just so we clear."
Yeah, I mean, and that's obviously no knock to Alex Caruso because, like you just mentioned, that was a good trade for both teams.
Yeah,
You know, because now Josh Giddey can get from behind SGA because SGA needs the ball too. You know what I mean? So it's like now he can go over there and then Alex Caruso can come do his thing. Well, okay. See, I think that was one of the more one of the more like fair trades. Even though I do think Josh is better than Alex Caruso because Alex Caruso is so important. He's so valuable to a team. You know what I mean? That I just think it was just that was just one of the more fair trades I've seen where just both it's a win-win for both teams, you know. So shout out to that trade. You know, that was great for both teams, too. Yeah, so so you said that you're not quite there with the Bulls because of, you know, it could come to dog days, you know, February, early March, late January, you know, around All-Star time and just like sometimes in the season. But how good can the Bulls be? Like, I want to know where is their ceiling, and then after you ask that, Chill, I got some New York. I got a New York Knicks expert, and I'm going to bring up. We could talk about this game in particular a little more in depth.
I think the defense can continue, Ox. I don't think that with this group, barring injury, because a lot of the stuff that they get, you know, they get it off dirty work. So, you know, I think that they got great connecting defenders. I think Josh Giddey is huge in their defense. Like, a lot of people will talk about Josh Giddey not being a great one-on-one defender, which doesn't bother me as much. He will compete on the defensive end. But the thing that I like about Josh Giddey the most, and you know how I feel about rebounding, Josh Giddey is one of the best rebounding guards, not just rebounding guards. He's one of the best rebounders in the game. And you know how I feel about rebounding. When you can rebound, you can stop plays. That's a big deal. And Josh Giddey will stick his nose in there, and he will get big rebounds. I saw him a couple of nights ago when I want to say that they played Atlanta, and he ended up getting a big-time offensive rebound. He ended up getting a big offensive rebound to basically end the game, where they ended up having to foul. And I want to say that it was not a Coro, but I want to say it was Jones who went to the free throw line and iced the game. And I love that about Josh Giddey. The fact that he can continue to rebound. Vooch has always been, to me, Vooch has always been a really good team defender. People look at defense and they think that it's only one-on-one. No, I think about how connected you are to the group in terms of rotations. Vooch has always been a really good rotation defender. He's always been a good weak side defender. And I think that works with what the Bulls schemes, what they have with their scheme. I think that they don't have one guy individually that's Evan Mobley or OG Anunoby or Drew Holiday. But I think as a collection, they have guys that do the things necessary in order to get stops, right? And when we get on the glass, we gain rebound. I think that's the stuff that's the most important in my estimation when you're talking about a team that's trying to build something. And then on top of that, when they get these rebounds, they end up rolling, they end up running, and they end up getting good buckets in transition. Ox, I can say that this is a run right now, but I had them. Like, I had them around the play-in. I had them like 7-8 in the play-in. I'm still there. I'd be blown away if this team ended up being like a top 5 seed. I think their ceiling is a dogfight first-round playoff series. A dogfight. Right. Mm-hmm.
Chill. They're better than Milwaukee.
No. No.
Well, Chill, based off of this one game, because and you know, it's not fair to do that. It's an 82-game season. It's just one game of basketball. Chill, where do they stack up against the New York Knicks? I know they beat them last night, but is that just a game, or are they better than this team?
I think it's early in the season, so I do take a lot of stock in regular season games, but I think it's a little bit different when we're talking about the playoffs, because in the playoffs, I get to focus solely on you and all of your deficiencies, not just your strengths, but all of the things that you do, all of the things that you don't do. Like, for example, with the Knicks, we get to focus on Jalen Brunson and how we can put him in action, the fact that he's small, the fact that, you know, we can take advantage of him on the glass, because my big guard at 6'8" can rebound. Well, I think that we can take advantage of something like that. In addition to that, we could take advantage of Cat. The flip side to that with the Bulls is their offense can be stagnant. I mean, when we're operating on, you know, guys like Okoro and Desamu, like, I want those guys If I'm the Knicks, I want those guys to be the focal point of your offense. I want Josh Giddey creating offense for those guys. I want to do what I can to slow Josh Giddey down, to make sure that Josh Giddey is getting the Coro, to make sure that Josh Giddey is getting the Samu in the offense, as opposed to Vooch, as opposed to himself, as opposed to Basellis or Kobe White when he comes back. And I'll live with that sort of stuff. And if I got 7 games to decipher that, if I got 7 games to go over that, then yes, I'm absolutely doing that. And I think in a playoff series, it's completely different. I think that today, sure, in a 1 game, I mean, the Bulls definitely look better, but I think we can say that any team could get beat after 1 game. But in a 7-game series, no, I don't think that the Knicks are better. The Bulls are better than the Knicks right now. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, let's bring up our New York Knicks expert. Let's get his take on last night and just where this team is.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Bob, what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I gotta say this on Open Gym. Chill. It was me that said Josh Giddey looked like the way he was able to pass Jason Kidd, and Mars laughed at me. And to back that up, ask Contents, because about 3 weeks later after I made that take, he came on and said the same thing. So I was the one that originally said that. Now I got another take about VJ, and you were right, Bob, about Maxey. But let's talk about the Bulls. What we forget is when they were doing their 3-guard set, it was running to their advantage. But Jones wasn't taking the 3. So when you were talking about Brunson's defense, Brunson was on him. The issue we were having was the fact that when we made our adjustments from our bench was trash. Josh Hart didn't do anything. All the players, whenever we brought in 2-3 players, they immediately took advantage of it and did the proper rotations. The Bulls did a lot of good things, as well as the team playing together. But when you look at how we were playing, we were doing really well, because at one point we were down by 22. We had a hot hand in OG, we had a hot hand in Mikal Bridges, and we even had some things that I didn't even understand was the adjustments that Brown was doing, especially in the third quarter. All season we have been losing games in the third quarter and the second half, but throughout this entire game, Brown has made some very good adjustments and changes. And even Brunson in the fourth quarter didn't take his last 4 shots till the end, because he was trying to get everyone incorporated. But what I'm trying to simply say is the fact that Josh Giddey and everyone was playing well. They were playing a 3-guard set that we were not used to. So they took advantage of it. And when Mitchell Robinson was in the game, we were able to get the rim protection that we needed, because we were having Cat float around the 3-point range, which is what we need. I'm not saying that we need a rim protector or something. We just need a big body down there, because our bench ain't ready. Clarkson didn't do anything. Anyone on our bench that you look at, even McBride, they all were in the negative. Hart was a negative 18. McBride was a negative 22. Everybody was negative plus, but we still lost by 10. So for me, I think it's still a good win, because the Bulls challenged us by putting pressure and running the ball. But with our coaching, we were able to still be in the game. We were able to rely on our defensive players in OG and McBride, in OG and Bridges, because those guys were getting hot at the right time in the third quarter, hitting down threes. Shumpert, he hasn't been doing nothing. Clarkson hasn't been doing nothing. Yambaseli, absent. Like, we have a lot of issues with our bench, but we held a good distance between them and us for 10 points. But I think that this game was a learning curve, and I really am glad that we did lose, because we learned a lot. We learned a lot about ourselves. Brunson and Cat, I don't know why people hate on Cat. When you look at how Cat is playing through a quad injury, he's able to still do things. His 3-point numbers.
I'm not trying to hear that, Bob. I'm not trying to hear that.
Hold on. His 3-point numbers are down, and so are Brunson's. But I don't understand how y'all could say that. First of all, I just told you our bench is garbage. So who else are we supposed to put in if our bench is that garbage? Everyone says we don't.
I'm not.
No.
Bob,
how are we going to play better when Ariel ain't ready?
So if he's not ready, then that's a coaching, not necessarily a coaching thing, but like you just talked about, this offseason, y'all did everything that y'all could to bolster that rotation. You did everything that you could. So because you did everything that you could, these guys got to be put in better positions to be better. Shamrock has to be put in better positions to be better. Yabusele, this was a big-time signing for you guys. You came on here in the summertime, and you was extremely happy about getting Yabusele after what you had seen in the Olympics. With that being said, I got a big guy who I know for a fact is beat up, and I'm going to need him later on. I shouldn't have to play him right now if he's this beat up and he's looking this bad. I shouldn't have to do that. I should have rotation guys. I ain't saying that they're going to give me what Cat gives me. No, but I should have rotation guys who can at minimum supplement that, right? I shouldn't have to play this guy because I'm going to need him late in the season. If Cat's going to play, If Cat's going to be on the floor, then I need him to play at that level. If he's not going to, if he's going to be on the floor, I'm not trying to hit the fact that he's beat up because we're early in the season. We are a week into the season. If he's not that, then let's get him off the floor and let's get these other guys on the floor and maybe they can help us out. But if he's going to be on the floor, I'm not trying to hear he hurt. I'm not.
Nah, it's not that. I'm saying he's playing through all these little things with the fat fouls. He hasn't fouled out of the game. He had 3 fouls this entire time. He averaged 3 fouls throughout the last 5 games. He's improved on that. Yes, he's still in his own mind, but he's working through these issues. But it's okay for Mitchell Robinson to be out. It's okay for all these other players to sit out. McBride, it's okay for them to sit out. But then when Cat does it, we're going to have so bad of a drop-off. It's like saying Jalen Brunson can rest. We're going to have so much of a drop-off. We can't be successful. But people call him soft because he's trying to play through it and he's being productive. He's doing the best he could. As a matter of fact, last night's game, the first half, he shot bad from 3 in the first half. And then what did he do in the third half? He reevaluated his shots, took better shots, and actually came a positive before he stayed a negative. These adjustments, nobody respects Cat for. That's why I said you want him out there, because if he's playing through these injuries, his development and his skill set gets better throughout the season. When it gets down into playoffs, he's already in a certain type of mode because he's fought through these battles. So a lot of people don't give him credit, but Cat has been busting his ass out there, and he's the best option we have. You can't bench him. You can't bench him because there's nobody else that's going to step up. And that's not his fault. That's the team's fault, because I thought Yabusele had something. I thought Clarkson had something. Clarkson hasn't shown us anything. This bench, guys, like I told you earlier, has not shown us anything at all. And that's not our fault. That's their fault, because we need to hold them accountable.
That's not my issue, though. My issue, to your point, is if you're going to gut it out, right? If you're going to gut it out, if you're going to play, you're telling me that you're legit when you're on the floor. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me that I can go, right? So I can appreciate if you are hurt, right? Because guys got knick-knack injuries and all of that good stuff. And I understand that this quad injury is something serious. I had said before the season started that if he was going to play on opening night, I was comfortable with him playing on opening night and then sitting him. I was comfortable with that. But if he's going to be out there, right? If he's going to be out there, I expect Cat to be Cat, or I expect Cat to be at least some version of Cat. And then on top of that, with your rotation, which you've clearly gotten better at, right? Which you've clearly gotten better at this season, and Mike Brown is using his bench way more than what Tibbs did last year. I expect more production from these guys. Now, one of two things is going on, Bob. Either these guys aren't understanding what their role is, or maybe these guys aren't as good as I think that they are. And if that's the case, either we have to adjust what we doing early because these guys don't understand their role, or we got the wrong guys here. That's it.
I just got 2 quick points. If you look at how we played last night, our starters all scored 101 points. 4 players of our starters scored total of 101 points. So he's not playing bad. It's just that it's inconsistencies and lapses in his games, and y'all are overlooking that because he's still giving up 20-plus points. But my last point before I go, because I know how you guys are, I think VJ is what Jimmy Butler would have been as far as when he was on the Sixers. He reminds me a lot of him, that dog where he's running and he's gunning and he just wants to get the best out of everyone. So I agree to Bob. He's been saying it for the last 3 years. Yo, Sixers need to run through Maxey. When he was a backup, yo, bump that. He should be starting. You should run through him. And I agree with him. And I think that VJ is like Jimmy Butler in the future. But y'all guys, thank you for having me on. I don't want to take up too much time. Go New York, go New York, go. Peace, guys. Be safe.
All right, Bob.
No doubt.
Yeah, there's a the beauty of it is that it's a long basketball season, y'all. We got time, and these first 5 games could mean something or mean nothing. We'll see. We'll see where the Knicks go.
We just started last Tuesday, Ox. Literally, we just started last Tuesday. So, yeah, we got some stuff to figure out, and we got some time to figure it out. So, give me a minute. I just ain't trying to hear the issue that I'm having is the injury thing. Like, I understand if you hurt, there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. If you injured, you can play. If you hurt, you can't. Right? And I'm sorry, if you hurt, you can play. If you hurt, you can play. If you injured, you can't. You injured, you can't. And I understood the Cat had a quad injury. Now, if this quad injury is not is good enough where I can go, then I'm expecting you to be Cat if you can go. Because that's what you're telling me, Ops. When you tell me you coming on the floor, you telling me you can go, I'm expecting that you can go. If you can't go, then I don't want you on the floor. Nah, even if I'm just gonna have you out here to be a decoy or something like that, I don't love it. I do, because I want you to get healthy, and I want you to be correct. So by the time like we get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, you're ready. And I feel like with Cat, I do think that he's playing good. I just don't want to. I'm not sold on the injury thing. I think the injury thing is what's bothering me. If he's not correct, then we got to get him correct. That's it more than anything.
Right, and that's my thing too. I feel like when you have an injury, that will that can make it worse. And that can actually hamper your play. When you're just hurt, it's like you'll be all right. But if you can't play, like if it's clearly hindering your ability to to play or perform, you need to go sit down and get right.
Yes,
that's all there is to it. So I do commend, as you I commend players for playing through knickknacks and playing through little things here and there. But if it's clearly disturbing you, that means maybe it's more than just being hurt. Maybe you need to go take care of that, because at this point you could be hindering your team's performances. So maybe Cat should just chill out for a little bit. We still got a couple more performances from last night that I want to get into. They were both incredible performances. Let's start with the MVP. Let's start with Luka Doncic. Let's start with Luka last night, Chill. He just came back, and he came back in a big way, a very big way. We saw 44 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists from Luka Doncic last night. Things got a little even after the game, and we'll talk about this a little bit more too, with the whole Ja Morant go ask the coaching staff thing, Chill. But let's focus on the positive right now. Let's focus on Luka Doncic. What is going on with Luka Doncic? Like, Chill, what is happening? What did he just miss? He missed 2 games, or did he miss 3 games, Chill?
I think he missed 3 games. Yes.
3 games?
He missed 3. Yes, he missed 3 games.
So in the last 1 second, let me let this load for a second. Luka over the last 3 games that he played was 43, 12, and 9, 49, 11, and 8, and then last night 44 and 12 with 6 made 3-pointers. Chill, what is Luka Doncic doing? What is his problem?
I'll tell you what he's doing. He averaging 44. He averaging 44, 12, and 8 as of today, which I think is a run. I'm not sure it's sustainable, but I do think it's a run. And I think Luka has come back with a vengeance. He heard the chatter. He heard all the stuff said about him, which a lot of it was true. You fat, you out of shape, you don't compete on the defensive end, you're not committed to winning. You don't really you want to do things your own way. And I think he came back to show that, okay, you guys are wrong about me. You guys are 100% wrong about me. And I said before the season started, watching the kind of shape that he had gotten in, and not just the shape he had gotten in, but how much harder he was playing. Luka looked to me last night like exactly what I thought. Luka looks like he's going to be the best scorer in the game. A lot of the stuff that he got, it just was easy. I'm on record saying it, Ox. I don't think that there's a guy. I don't think there's a guy in the league that scores the basketball as easy as Luka does. I don't think that there's one guy in the league that scores the basketball as easy as Luka does, and I still stand on that. And this, like last night, for example, he had a shot. I thought it was really interesting. He had a shot in the third quarter, and like they were trying to make a run. He had gotten Jalen Wells switched on him. He had a shot where he went to his right and then made a step back. He created so much space with Jalen Wells where Jalen Wells couldn't even recover and couldn't even get back to it. And it was stuff like that going on all night. Luka is in such a rhythm. And I think that those other guys are also in such a rhythm, playing off of him. They see the confidence in Luka, right? They see everything that Luka is doing, and it just exudes the rest of these dudes. I'd like to see, guys like DeAndre Ayton get more involved. I was very disappointed in him last night. Ox, he had 0 rebounds, not 1. He had 1 rebound last night. That's if we're trying to win, the thing that you say that you're committed to, you have to do that. And especially going up against Jaren Jackson, who doesn't rebound. He should have destroyed him on the glass last night.
Jaren Jackson rubbed off on him or something.
Clearly, he must have, Ox, because a guy like Jaren Jackson who doesn't rebound. Ox, I think Jaren Jackson is averaging 4 rebounds a game on the season. DeAndre Ayton should have destroyed the glass last night. And when I say destroyed it, I mean they didn't have anything on their front line, and he should have destroyed the glass last night. But he didn't. I mean, Luka ends up getting the majority of the rebounds. That's the job of the big man. I was definitely disappointed in him in that was unacceptable. But I thought Austin Reeves played off of Luka really well. I thought Austin Reeves was able to get open looks. I thought Austin Reeves was able to get downhill and knock down open shots that Luka had created for him. And the same thing with Rui. And Rui really didn't get that many opportunities. But the opportunities that Rui did get, because I thought that they did on occasions, they did speed the game up. I thought that Rui got opportunities in order for them, to go ahead. So I'm in agreement that Luka makes them a lot better than what they already are, and when they get James back, I think they're going to be even better. This Laker team is serious. They are.
Chill, I didn't get to watch the whole game last night. Was there a reason DeAndre didn't play? Did JJ bench him, or did he get like hurt or something? Or
no, he played. Yeah,
he only played 17 minutes.
Yeah, he only played 17 minutes. But I mean, in the 17 minutes that he played, I mean, I didn't get anything from him. And a lot of the guys like Jackson Hayes, Jake LaRavia played a lot more, right? Jared Vanderbilt played a lot more. So it wasn't that I didn't see him get hurt, right? I didn't see him get hurt. I don't remember him getting hurt.
They're saying back spasms.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that. Yeah, I heard the back tightness thing, but I don't remember him getting hurt. But
right.
I mean, again, he had no rebounds last night, and that's just unacceptable.
Even in 17 minutes, I need you to grab a couple boards, big fella. What are you doing out here?
He did in the preseason. Ox, he had 8 rebounds in 17 minutes, one game.
Yeah, and the thing about it is DeAndre Ayton is a good rebounder. As far as I'm concerned, what I've seen from DeAndre Ayton, I think he is a good rebounder. So having zero, I'm gonna have to give him the benefit of the doubt, Chill. I have to assume that his back had to tighten up on him or something, because 0 rebounds is just it's
unacceptable.
Very unacceptable. But the Jaren Jackson thing, Chill. I mean, I'm disgusted by Jaren Jackson's ability or inability to rebound. Absolutely disgusted. There's
4 rebounds last night. 4.
What did he average last year? Like 5.8, like maybe 6. How many? He broke up, Chill.
It's incredible.
Wait, Chill. I didn't hear what you said. You kind of went out for a second. How many did he average? 6.
He averaged 6 rebounds. And Ox, you didn't get sold. They were trying to sell you. Jaren Jackson can't rebound because of his body type. That's what they said. I vividly remember that. Jaren Jackson can't rebound.
He's 6'10", ain't he?
6'11", Ox. He's 6'11".
What body type? He has a rebound. That's the body type to go rebound. He's athletic and he's 6'11". That's what you could chase.
Pounds, 260.
Oh, come on. And then but no, because then what they tried to sell you, Chill, and you didn't purchase, is that everybody else rebounds. So there's as a team they average a lot of rebounds. So him not rebounding isn't a big deal.
So Ox, in the house, my 16-year-old daughter got a job. My 14-year-old son, he got a paper route. So that absolves me of paying bills.
Right. Exactly.
That completely absolves me of paying bills and taking care. What the hell? What the hell is going on? No, that's not the way that works. No.
Oh, exactly. So that's hilarious.
Think so.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Pops, you can kick
so.
Little man got a paper route, so don't worry about the
little man got a paper route. My daughter work in the mall. My wife a teacher, so I'm straight. I ain't gotta do nothing. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's insane.
I don't think so. No way. I'm not trying to hear that, Ox. Yeah, this Memphis team is in disarray. They got a whole lot of problems.
Go ask the coach.
I didn't like what I saw.
What's that about?
What's what about? I'm sorry, Ox.
Go ask the coaching staff.
Well, I think that, and I said this to you maybe a week. I think it was this week. We had a segment where it was about hot takes, and I had said to you, I don't think Ja's going to be on this crew before the season is over. I think he's going to be gone, and I think Memphis. I think that they're out of the Ja Morant business. I do. I think that they see him as a guy who we've gotten everything that we're going to get. And I'm on record. I've said this already, and I still stand on it. I think that the Memphis Grizzlies, Oklahoma City is everything that they should have been. And I think that they're looking at Memphis with Ja being at the helm. They've already come off of Desmond Bain. I think Ja's next. I think he's the guy that's the next domino to fall. I just don't think that his brand of basketball is conducive to what Memphis is trying to do anymore. I mean, he went 0 for 6 last night. He didn't give them anything in excuse me, in limited time. It wasn't like, he went 0 for 6 and he played, 39, 40 minutes or something like that. He barely played 30 minutes. Barely. That's rotation guy minutes for your starting point guard. Now, the basketball player in me is kind of trying to give the coaching staff the benefit of the doubt to say, maybe he just didn't have it going last night. Maybe that was the reason why they thinking, okay, we'll try it again 2 nights from now. We'll try it again in a couple of nights. But this has been an ongoing theme with Memphis. This is the way that they treat Ja. When Ja doesn't have it going, which he hasn't. I mean, I feel like his jump shot has abandoned him. I mean, he does get downhill, but his jump shot has abandoned him. It's become way less respectable than it used to be. He doesn't play above the rim like he used to play above the rim. He's not the dynamic player that he used to be. And I feel like Memphis is looking at him like it's time to move on from him. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I blame them. I don't.
Okay, so chill. Who exactly do the Miami Heat have that they're going to give up for Ja Morant?
That's the destination. It's Miami. I think that Miami could get. I think that Miami could swindle Memphis into Ja Morant, even though I don't think Ja Morant offensively, because like I said, maybe it's just a change of scenery. If I'm the Miami Heat, I'm not touching my core. I'm not touching Bam. I'm not touching Khalil Ware. I'm not touching Tyler Hero. Could I be? Well, wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. Could I be coaxed into touching Tyler Hero for Ja Morant because I got Norman Powell? Could I be? Could I be swayed into doing that because I already got Norman Powell and I'm really a league guard away from really challenging in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. But can I trust Ja Morant in South Beach? Can I trust Ja Morant in South Florida? That's my issue. That's the problem that I have because I feel like with Ja, I mean, there's a standard with the Miami Heat that you have to uphold, and with Ja playing with the Miami Heat, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I do have a life outside of basketball, but there's a way that I do have to play. A way I got to conduct myself if I'm gonna be on this crew. I have to do that. That has to happen. So I'm not sure if Miami is the place. I'm not sure.
Do you feel that Ja handled that correctly, or maybe he just kind of let his frustration get the best of him? Do you think there was some accountability there for him to take, or was he correct with just saying just ask the coaches? They obviously said what they said. I mean, I don't know what the coaches said before the media got in there, but they clearly said some things, and they were clearly pretty hard on Ja about it.
Yeah.
So what do you think that's about?
Well, I think I think that pendulum swings both ways, Ox, because the coaching staff isn't responsible for me going 0 for 6. That's not their responsibility, and the coaching staff isn't also responsible. I mean, they are responsible for me playing almost 30 minutes, 31 minutes, almost 31 minutes last night. They are responsible for that, but there are things that I can't account for. So why I didn't play more? I mean, you got to talk to the coaching staff about that. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Now I do have to play better. Right. There are shots that I missed last night. There are reads that I missed last night that I could have done a better job in getting more guys involved in the game because I am the league guard, and that is my responsibility to do that in addition to being a bucket getter. But the fact that I didn't play more, that's something that you got to talk to the coaching staff about. That's not my job. So I think that there's debt on both sides here. I don't think that it's just Ja, but I don't think it's just the coaching staff neither.
Right. Mm-hmm. Definitely. They got to find some type of cohesiveness if they want to salvage this thing because you can't, it's so early in the season, chill. Like you said, season started last Tuesday. We can't have this type of conflict this early.
No.
Something needs to change.
I don't think so.
Let me see. Let me get to a couple of these super chats really quick. From the Trib 1. The Celtics offense is more complex with this group than it has been in like 3 or 4 years. Maybe they feel they need more action for them to get points, but it's always better to get easier looks, in my opinion.
which is fair. But the Celtics still play. They still play the same way that they did last year. I mean, they still crack the long ball with the best of them. I think they're at the top of the league in shooting threes. I thought Philly did a good job last night in closing out on threes with them. But they still going to crack the long ball with the best of them. I think not having Jason Tatum as that connector, as that distributor, as that bucket getter does make their offense look a little bit more complex than it really is. So when they get him back, I think it's going to look a lot different.
Yeah, definitely. The Trib once sent another super chat. He has a couple super chats in here. Let's get through these. We just need to upgrade the Rui spot, and I think we'll be contenders. Luka gunning for that MVP. Thank you, Nico. Chill, I saw somebody in the chat say that if he was Rob Pelinka, he would trade Rui Hachimura for Keldon Johnson. I'm curious to know what makes you think the Spurs will give you Keldon Johnson.
Because he's a Laker fan. That's why, and they think that they can have whatever they want. That's why.
Right.
Because you got Luka, so they think that they can just call up anybody and, hey, can I have Jalen Brunson? You ain't really. I mean, can I have Cat? Y'all ain't really treating them. I mean,
we'll give you Gabe Vincent.
Yeah, you think I can have Mikal Bridges? I mean, you ain't really doing nothing with him. You think I'll give Gabe Vincent and I'll give Jake LaRavia. You think that'll work? No. I mean, it's the Lakers, though. That's how the Lakers are. The Lakers are that organization that just thinks that they can have whatever they want, and it just happens.
In fact, chill. It's crazy that we said those things because 38 minutes ago, the Trib once sent another super chat that said this.
See?
Mm-hmm. We'll take Embiid for Rui. Mm-hmm. Easy work.
Knock yourself. And to be honest with you, Trib, if I'm Philly, I'd do that. I would 100% do that because I'm trying to get off of Joel Embiid. Yes, I would. I would do that. Just off the strength that I'm trying to get off of Joel Embiid. I do think that I could do better than Rui, though. I think I could do better than that, right? Yeah. But also, I am trying to get off of Joel Embiid too. So, Ox, I'm not just going to give you the car for nothing, right? I think I could get more than $100 for it. I do think that.
And mind you, I really like Rui, but
I do too.
Not that much. Not that much. Randy Balin says, when McCain and D Fox return for their respective teams, both squads are going to have three excellent young guards. Would you try to move off of one of these three for each club?
I know how you guys feel about Jared McCain. Is it Jared McCain, the kid from Philly? Is that his first name?
Yeah, Jared McCain.
Yeah, Jared McCain. I know how you guys feel about McCain, but I'm comfortable moving off of him, off the strength, Ox, that I want to build my unit, and I think that I can get a high first-round pick for him. I think I could give him to a team that really needs a lead guard, right? Like Miami. I could ship him to Miami, somewhere like that, a team that really needs a lead guard, and I could get a first-round pick for him, and I can bolster my front line because, again, I'm building my team around these two young guys. I think with De'Aaron Fox in San Antonio, I'm not really sure that I want to move off of any of these guys. And the reason why is because I think that Dylan Harper, as good as he is, I don't think we're there yet. And I think that you guys are so right now not recognizing that De'Aaron Fox is one of the 5 best, arguably, league guards in the game. And he's still young. He's 27 years old. And he's still got a lot of years left in him. And the fact that Dylan Harper could play behind him and see like how to play the lead guard and see how much better he can be playing behind Fox. I don't think Wemby is great as great a screener as I'd like for him to be, but I do think that this dynamic between both Fox and Wemby can work, and I think he can see it. So I think that I don't think I'm moving off of any of those guards on San Antonio. I think that they're building something down there. So I think that you can hold on to those guys for a little while longer.
Yeah. The moving off of De'Aaron Fox thing to me makes absolutely zero sense. I'm not moving whatsoever off of De'Aaron Fox. The only way I move off of De'Aaron Fox is if it's in the package to get Giannis. That's the only way I'm moving off of D Fox. I think those three guys can play together, and I'm not ready to give Dylan Harper just hand him the ball yet anyway. So I think those three guys can play together. one of them at the 2. Just a good rotation. I'm not moving off of either one of those guys. I'm not even thinking about it unless, like I said, it's Foxy for Giannis. In Philadelphia, I'm still not so sure about moving off any of those guys either. I don't understand what's the problem with having 3 guys running a rotation, playing the point guard and shooting guard together. They can all do that. But if I need to put Jared McCain in the package with Joel Embiid, to give another team a young guard as well as a injury-prone vet, a superstar injury-prone vet, maybe have to throw a young fella like Jared McCain in there in that package. I could see myself doing something like that. But I just don't understand this thing where like people are, there's 2 guys that are good at point guard. You have to leave one and move off of one of them. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like there's 48 minutes in the basketball game. Let the coach get his rotation together. And I think it's a good idea to have a guy in the second unit that could be a starter on another team. I think that bolsters your roster. So I'm not really moving off of those guys like that. But
that's a fair point, Ox. But that's a fair point. But to counter that, I do think that there's other needs that we have. And to your point, I'll throw in kind of like what the Atlanta did when they ended up trading DeJounte Murray, or take Dyson Daniels too, only to find out that, oh shit, this dude a lot better than what we thought he was, right? So, I mean, I think that I feel like I could do the same thing I can accommodate Jared McCain the same way that Atlanta did, and I could get a 1, I could get maybe 2 1s, and I could continue to, because I'm moving off of Paul George too. So I think that I can get some more wings in the draft because I got these young guys, and I can also do something about my front line because Miami ain't the only team in the league that's drafting good. Like they find Bam in the middle of the first round, they find Khalil Ware in the middle of the first round. We got to start doing our homework because it's guys that can play. We got to start doing more of our homework because they clearly getting it right. So we got to get it right too.
The issue with Paul George now I know Joel Embiid is making a lot of money.
Yep.
But I still think there's teams that'll pay him. Paul George, on the other hand, I think they signed him to just a little too much. I don't know a team that's gonna come and get Paul George's contract yet. I just don't know. Have no idea. But let me see, who do we got in the lobby? Let's pull a Big Fan Breezy. What's up, Breezy?
What up?
Yo, man. Oh, well, Chill. You know I like you, Chill. Ox, I like you too. But, I heard you say some disparaging comments about Cam Thomas. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought to myself,
Breezy, I've said that to you before, though. You know how I feel about Cam Thomas.
But it's not consistent with what's really happening. You know what I'm saying? I'll say this, and then I wanted to get to actually something. Cam, you said in a clip that Cam Thomas isn't doing what the Nets want him to do. That is false. Cam Thomas is doing everything that he's supposed to do for the Brooklyn Nets. Look at the team around and watch the games. Now, mind you, we only got 2 national games, so that's going to be tough. Now, I said that to say, Big Ox,
I got the league pass. I got league pass. Breeze,
you got league pass?
I got league pass. I can check y'all dudes out whenever. Yes, I do. I got league
pass.
Thank
you. Chill. The Nets fans have no big personality. We have no Stephen A. If you could start watching some of the games, Chill, that would do us a tremendous favor. You know what I'm saying? But Big Ox, trust me. And this, I don't like to talk about what goes on at home in the world. But I do think that the Nets favor European players over American players, and they might have missed out on some talent in this last year's draft because of it. But trust me, Cam Thomas is working hard. He gets a lot of rhetoric about what he doesn't do. He just dropped 40 and had 0 assists. Austin Rivers jumped out and defended him. Edmund Sumner, he jumped out and defended him. And there's players that are defending him more than the quote unquote big media. And the reason why I'm doing this, Big Chill, is because the big media don't really watch Brooklyn Nets games. They watch the box score, and you know what I'm saying? They tap in after that. But I just wanted to say to Chill, I'm not done, Big Ox. I'm gonna do a live when I get home. You know what I'm saying? Big to Chill. chill. I know you know people that know people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you could do this, but I'm just being observant. The Memphis Grizzlies is another team that didn't win the NBA championship and got loaded with draft picks. They got Zaire Williams, they got Zach Edey, they got Ja Morant, they got Triple J. I mean, that's four off of recent memory. The NBA made it their business to you know what I'm saying, put the best talent with the Grizzlies to see what they will become. From right now, it looked like that shit fit in the sink. So I'm saying maybe Chill knows somebody, could call somebody up, say, yo, you know, you're the Brooklyn Nets the #1 pick next year. You could do that, Chill?
I'm not. I do not have that kind of power. No, I am not that powerful, sir. No. If you hoping that I can call y'all, if you hope I can make a call and y'all can win the lottery, nah, you're gonna be waiting a long time, brother. Because nah, I can't do that.
Nah, I was just playing. But nah, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say, yo, you guys got a great show. I'm just in the chat. And I am, as a fan, I'm waiting for PCL. I'm waiting for it. What's up with it, yeah?
This month we doing it. Yep. This month we doing it.
All right, I'm tapping in.
Yes, sir. This month we doing it.
All right, Breeze.
Yes, sir.
Later,
talk to you, brother.
Send me the link when you go live.
I am.
All right, Breeze. Yeah. Oh yeah. PCL, man, y'all keep keep your ears open for that. I'm sure we'll be getting to that very soon. We had a very busy October, so had to postpone some things, but y'all know how it is. We'll get to it.
We'll get back to it. Yes, we will.
In the meantime, I want to remind y'all that tomorrow you can get on the PC Network and check out the Press Box. Talk all things NFL. Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss the Press Box, y'all. You got Swiper. You got Bama. You got J-Rob. 3 of the best football minds in the business, man. Y'all come through. Check it out. Y'all know where to go. Chill. Want to talk about the Portland Trail Blazers. Taking care of business last night. Chill. How dangerous is this Portland Trail Blazers team?
I think Ox. I'm warming up to them. I was already, before the season started, they were one of my teams that I was really high on before the season started. I thought that they were going to be a big deal. Drew Holiday didn't shoot the ball particularly well last night from the long ball and from the floor. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but Danny Avdia was really good last night. Not only was Danny Avdia good last night, I thought Klingon did as good a job as he could while he was on the floor on Joker, as he possibly could. I thought he did as good a job. Yeah, I thought he did as good a job as he possibly could on Joker. I felt like he pushed Joker off the block a couple of times. He definitely stopped some plays. This kid, Chris Murray, the other Murray, not the one in Sacramento, because I know you might confuse them. They both look exactly alike. Yes, they do. But the other Murray, he actually looked really good. And on top of that, Robert Williams came in last night and gave him some really productive minutes. Now, we got late in the game last night because I was able to stay up and watch most of this game, but I didn't like the screen navigation from the Trailblazers. As good as Drew Holiday is, we should not have, and as good a screen navigator as Drew Holiday is, as good a screen navigator as Amani Tamara is, right? As good as these guys are, we shouldn't have Danny Avdia switching on to Jamal Murray. I don't like that. I didn't like that at all, and I think that they were specifically going after that matchup, and it worked a couple of times too. I thought that they could have done a better job getting around those screens, but for the most part, I thought that they competed as much as they possibly could. I thought that Jeremy Grant gave me some solid minutes. I mean, he took some bad shots, but I thought he gave me some solid minutes on top of him giving me some solid minutes. Once Kamara, I think once he ended up calming himself down, because he picked up some silly fouls early. Like he picked up a foul at the end of the second quarter, which was his third foul. So now I have to be more conscious of fouling. Then he ended up picking up a foul in the third, where he clearly hit Jamal Murray, Joker on the arm, and then complained about it and wanted them to challenge it. Like it's stuff like that you could be better at. But I thought that they got better at that later on in the game. And I think this Trailblazer team, they're going to be something to deal with, Ox. They are. They're going to be something to deal with. They're really good closing games. On top of them being good at closing games, I think their defense, particularly their full court defense, is what's been causing a lot of havoc for these teams. A lot of it.
Definitely, they get after it on that defensive end.
Yes, they do.
So I want to point out Drew Holiday's 13 assists and Donovan Clingan's 8 offensive rebounds, as well as 7 offensive rebounds, as well as Robert Williams playing 11 minutes and getting 3 offensive rebounds himself. You got Robert Williams with 3 offensive rebounds, Chris Murray with 3 offensive rebounds, Shaedon Sharpe with 2 offensive rebounds. Shaedon. Donovan Clingan with 7 offensive rebounds, and Denny Advia also grabbed the offensive board. Chill. We talk about this a lot last year during playbacks, and I just feel like offensive rebounds are really back-breaking. Like it's like when you get an offensive rebound and you convert that into a bucket or an extra possession that kind of drags out, I feel like it's exponential. You know what I'm saying? The impact that bucket has.
I think they, if I'm not mistaken, Oxen, I want you to keep going, but I think that the Trailblazers, I think they doubled Denver's second chance points off the strength of the offensive rebounds. I think that was the difference in the game last night.
That's 16 of them.
Yeah, so I think that was the difference in the game last night. Absolutely. I like this Trailblazer team, Ox. I like what they on to something in Portland, man. They on to something. That brand of basketball is winning basketball that they play. Yes, they are. Yeah. And they got the personnel to continue doing that too. They do.
Right. I'm keeping an eye on them. Sure, I'm definitely gonna get to a couple of games this season as well. Now, I think it's about that time, chill.
Which time is that? I think I know where we're going with this, but
I think it's about the time to talk about my guy.
I figured that.
Yeah, none other than that 34 points from Kawhi Leonard. Not only was there 34 points, but there was 6 steals. 6 steals from Kawhi Leonard. Chill. Is Kawhi? Is he? I'm not sure what the term is, but is he? He's not back because he's been. He's still Kawhi Leonard, but is he geared up to have a hell of a season this year, or do you think this was just like a outlier? Is Kawhi still Kawhi Leonard?
For right now, yeah. I mean, is this going to continue? I don't know. I think that's the $1 million question. Because as of right now, I mean, he's doing Kawhi Leonard things, right? Last night, because I was able to flip back and forth between the Trailblazers Denver game and in this game. I mean, he came up with a huge steal in the meat and potatoes of the game. Kawhi's hands have always been busy. He's always been a really efficient player. When the season started, he wasn't particularly efficient at the long ball line. Not just at the long ball line, but on the floor. But last night, man, I mean, he just looked so comfortable out there. He was in the space that he was in last night. He was in space where he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He knew exactly where he wanted to go. He lived in that. I think he shot 6. Let's see, if I'm not mistaken, you can fact check this for me. But I think he shot 7. I think he shot 7 long balls last night and made, I think, 6 of them or 5, something like that. But with that being said, Ox, what he did last night, Kawhi Leonard in particular, what he did last night was he lived in a space where he is the most effective. And I love that about him, right? He was cracking the long ball, but he lived in that mid-range. And he was able to get to the rim too. And he didn't shoot a lot of shots. And I've always loved that about Leonard. 2 dribble pull-ups, 1 dribble or catch and shoot. He was actually good in transition, which I wasn't expecting, because Kawhi, to be honest with you, especially at this stage, I didn't expect him to be moving the way he's moving, but he looked great coming off screens last night. He looked great he had a shot yesterday, not the buzzer beater, but he had another shot yesterday at the elbow where he ended up facing up on Herb Jones, and it was so quick. Faced up on Herb Jones, he knew exactly what he was getting into. He didn't even jab him, Mox, just faced him up and just cracked it 17 feet. I was like, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is exactly what I'm talking about with Kawhi. My issue is, and I've said this to you in the past, Ox, no matter how many times I watch Juice, Q still drops Bishop off the roof. I want this crew to be crew. I don't want Bishop to die, right? I don't want none of them dudes to die. But in the end, Q still drops Bishop off the roof. and I've seen this movie before. I've seen Leonard get busy. I've seen how dope he is, but I've seen this movie before, Ox. I want it to be a different ending. That's why I'm watching it again. That's exactly why I'm watching the movie again, because I want it to be a different ending. I so want it to be a different ending. The difference is I know how this movie ends. But I'll tell you what,
so far,
I am tuned in right now. Yes, I am. I'm still tuned in.
So far, Chili's played all 5 games. He's averaging 24 and 6. I mean, he had 27 and 5 against Phoenix. He gave that Portland Trailblazers defense 30 and 10. You know, I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm
watching it again. I am. I'm watching it again.
Definitely.
I'll tell you what I'm not doing though. And you and Mars and all of y'all dudes, y'all think y'all pushing me on this Clipper train. I'm at the train station. I am in the middle of the concourse. Ain't no way y'all pushing me. I'm not standing right there at the edge. Nope. Y'all ain't pushing me on that train this year. I'm not trying to head odds. Nope.
So but you're buying the Luka stock?
Yes, I am.
He's already missing games. He's already missed games too. And he's had a history of some injuries.
Yeah, but Luka doesn't have the extensive history that Leonard has. That's number one.
Have you ever seen Kawhi out of shape? Too?
Never. He's always been in great shape, but which is even worse. That makes it worse because that goes back to my original logic.
That makes it worse.
It does make it worse because he's got a condition. Like Luka, because Luka got a condition too, but it's curable. It's that hookah. Yeah, that's what that is. That's curable. We can handle that, right? We can get to the bottom of that. Like the problem with Leonard, we can't remedy this. It's just a matter of time before this takes over. That's all that is.
Okay.
Well, we could remedy what Luka got going on. Yeah, there's pills for that, right? There's stuff that we could deal with that.
Sure, Donovan Mitchell missed the game, didn't play last night. I think that that shows why the Raptors beat them. Anthony Edwards missed games already. Anthony Davis missed games already. LeBron James hasn't even put his sneaks on. Luka missed games already. Karl Anthony Towns fighting through injury. Jalen Brunson fighting through injury. Kawhi Leonard hasn't missed a game yet, and this is crazy.
Imagine
but all right,
that.
I can't. Paul George hasn't even suited up yet. You know.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid already is on minutes restrictions, but Kawhi Leonard has been here every step of the way.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
I really don't have it. What I want to do, Ox, with Kawhi Leonard, and I'm still standing on it. I just want to marvel at how good he's playing right now. I may know how this movie is going to end, but as of right now, I'm just so marveling. I'm just so marveling on how good he's been, because what he does is he gives me flashbacks of what could have been, and I just want to keep. I want it to keep going, even if I think the inevitable is upon us. I still want this to keep going, and like I said, Kawhi just looks great. He does. He 100% looks great.
Right. Let's get back to the lobby. Let's see. We got some guys that's been waiting for a while. Let's see what Stacks got to talk about. What's up, Stacks?
You
want to mute, Stacks?
Oxen chill. What up, my guys?
You.
I want to ask y'all a question.
Here's the thing, Stacks, because we can't say that, Tibbs got to get up out of here now, right? We can't say that no more because he already gone.
Nah, this is just exposing a bigger issue. But I want to ask y'all a question. How did y'all feel about the Knicks coming into the season? About the Yabusele, the Clarkson signing and all that.
I had them as the number 2 seed. I thought that with getting a deeper bench, with Clarkson coming in, with Yabusele, I thought Kolek was going to be better, and added Mike Brown. I don't think that the defense was going to fall off that much. I thought that they were going to be good. I did. I thought they were going to be good.
In the first place, sure.
Say it again.
So the defense wasn't good in the first place.
Well, it was good last year. It wasn't terrible. It was good last year.
I mean, yeah, it was average. It wasn't good. Nothing to rave about.
I didn't think that it would fall off like this, though. I didn't. I did not think that it was just when you got guys like OG Anunoby, when you got rebounders like Cat, and not just rebounders like Cat, but Cat and Mitchell Robinson, right? When you got OG Anunoby and you got Mikal Bridges, who has basically just left the building as a defender. I'm trying to figure out what happened to him as a defender. Like, we was talking about an all-league defender who was up for Defensive Player of the Year at one point. Like, he looks average today. That's what he looked like to me, like an average defender, maybe even above average. Like what happened to this dude? I don't get it. And it ain't the scheme neither. That's not it. He dies on screens, one-on-one. It's not that hard to get by him. I'm trying to, and I know for a fact that we're not basically load managing defense. I know we ain't doing that. Like, I'm only going to play defense in certain spaces. Hell no, we ain't doing that. I'm just trying to figure out what happened to Mikal Bridges because he used to be much better than this on defense. He's not. I don't know what happened to him.
Mikal is a team defender. He needs a strong five out there with him. Brunson and Cat, as you notice, you see he plays different when Mitchell Robinson was out there with him. When Cat's at the five, it's just different. And I wanted to say, I'm like, yeah, I wasn't big on this team coming into the season. I wasn't getting guys back ESPN. I wasn't like Bob. Like y'all said, Bob was raving about the Yabusele signing.
I thought that it was a good signing for y'all, especially after what I saw in the Olympics. I thought it would translate. I did. Did we lose him?
We lose
I
Stacks.
think we lost him. Yeah, I think we lost him.
Oh no.
Y'all can hear me? Y'all hear me?
Now we hear you.
Yeah,
Now we hear him. Yeah, now we hear
You
you.
got too much in the background though.
My fault. I was a car driving, but I'm outside, bro. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't raving about the Yabusele signing, or the Clarkson signing. I felt like it was bigger free agents we could have got out there, and I felt like we should have traded Josh Hart, but nobody wanted to address that. And then these are the results of that. Y'all should have traded Josh Hart, got that $19 million off that cap. How do y'all feel about Josh Hart?
He has not been good at all, which I was wrong about that because I always thought he was a rotation guy, and I thought he would be real good coming off the bench. Only except he hasn't been. He can't make shots. He doesn't defend at all. Like, he gets beat a lot.
I've been telling people this since last year. I've been telling people this since last year. He's a overrated defender.
I saw it.
He's shrinking the floor for everybody else. He's a problem for everybody else on the floor. Him and Mitchell Robinson can't play together. You cannot have lineups like that for a supposed to be contender team. You can't have lineups that you cannot play. You cannot have lineups like that. This is all a result. People don't like. Knicks fans are going crazy right now. They don't know who to blame. They're trying to blame Mike Brown for They're trying to blame Mike Brown. And listen, I don't care if we started off 5-0 right now. I still wouldn't be happy with these wins. If we came back to beat the Chicago yesterday, we would have to play the starters 40 minutes to do that. And that's all Stacks was doing.
So Stacks, Stacks, you think that the roster construction is the problem? You don't think that
all Tiz was doing by playing these starters 40 minutes last year was disguising the real issue on this roster. And it's the bench. And it's been an issue. Y'all want to trade, and this Leon, nobody want to talk about Leon Rose. And I heard you say it the other day, Chill. Thank you. You know we drafted AJ Mitchell, right?
By the way,
we drafted AJ Mitchell,
yes,
bro.
Y'all had him in y'all group.
We drafted Tyler Kolek and him back to back. I thought they were gonna have them battle it out in camp to see who was better. I don't know what the hell they was thinking.
Yeah.
They traded. They had Keyshawn George from the Washington Wizards. They traded him for Pacome Dadier. And these are the results y'all get for doing that. Now y'all have no bench. I want to trade Quinn Grimes for Bogdanovich, who's not in the league no more, and Alec Burks, who's not on the team right now. These are the results y'all get for that. And I've been trying to tell Knicks fans that that I don't know why they getting guys talking about we lucky we in the East. If we was in the West, bro, it would be nasty, bro. We are lucky we are in the East. I've been trying to tell fans to sit down and be humble. I heard that Kendrick song, sit down and be humble. Knicks fans need to really do that. We lucky we in the East Coast, bro.
If y'all was in the West, y'all be at the bottom of the East right now.
We'll be fighting for the play-in, bro. We'll be fighting for the play-in.
Y'all all right now. I think y'all ninth right now in the East.
I'm not worried. I'm not like Josh said, I'm not worried about the East, bro. Like the East is not an issue, bro. It's just I'm worried about they talking about a contender. They talking about championship favorites. We are not championship favorites. Only reason because we in the East. That's we are lucky, bro. But we are not really championship favorites, bro. This roster, that bench is disgusting. You can't have Deuce McBride and Josh Hart as your 6th or 7th men, bro. You can't.
I was thinking,
and you have to settle on a vet minimum contract. And fans want to hooray about all of that, but you had to settle for that. Like that's not good, bro.
I was wondering too, and because I saw this last night when I was watching the Bulls game, I was thinking to myself, and I said to myself this, I was like, Chill, would you be surprised if the Knicks got bounced in round 1? Would that bug you out? If you saw the Knicks just lose in round 1, I was like, nah, I wouldn't. That would not bug me out of us. It would not bug me out of us.
They shouldn't, but I wouldn't. But that bench we got, bro, like it's nasty, bro. I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
Let me read this super chat for you, Stacks, before I let you go. Cowboy Bob sent a super chat specifically for you, Stacks. He said, yo, Stacks, pull up the Ox Court, bro. We can battle there. If not, keep me out of it. If you want to debate Knicks, Ox, please bring back Ox Court. I will pay for that. But you'll run like the rest. Go New York, go. Unfortunately, Bob, Ox Court, unfortunately, Ox Court does not exist, Bob. I don't know what you're talking about.
Cowboy, I've been trying to expose you. You ain't want no smoke, bro. I was exposing you in the chat. James B was there. You was hiding like a little mouse, bro. So ain't nobody ducking nothing from you, dogs. Chilling, Ox, no, I ain't ducking nothing. So like, stop it, dogs. Stop it. I got no issue with you, Cowboy. I have no issue with you, bro. I'm responding to what you said. You said that no. Chill said you was raving about the Yabusele signing. Don't cry about it now. Don't cry now. Cause I was the one not raving about the Yabusele or Clarkson signing. Like, don't cry now.
Honestly, Stacks, I thought that the Knicks in this offseason, when I saw what they did, moving Josh Hart to the bench, you signed Jordan Clarkson, you get Yabusele, you got Kohler coming back, you got Shaman coming back. I'm thinking, all right, I think that this crew, now a lot of the stuff that they didn't have in the past, I think they got it now. Mike Brown's going to dig into his bench, deeper into his bench. Jordan Clarkson comes off the bench. He instant buckets. You got your dirty work guy in Josh Hart. None of this stuff has been working out. It just hasn't been.
Right. Well, Stacks, I'm going to let you. Right on. Well, Stacks, appreciate you pulling up, brother. I'm going to let you go. We got to finish getting through some super chats and whatnot. Appreciate you, brother.
Y'all, bro.
Later.
All right.
Later.
Right on. Yeah, didn't think I didn't expect to wake up this morning and see the Knicks fan base bickering with each other, but I'm sure it'll be okay. I mean, y'all got to understand, the season is so early. Like the season, it hasn't even started really. Like it's just, y'all calm down. I still think the Knicks are going to be the top team in the East. I think the East is the Knicks to lose, y'all. So let's just be patient and let's see what happens.
Ox, I just got her in the crib. Like, we ain't even started yet. She just walked in. I just got her in here. Let's relax, yo.
Yeah. Y'all just want things to happen so quick. Slow down. Be easy. Man, put some Teddy Pendergrass on.
Please.
Also, shout out to the Trib One who gifted 5 Players Choice memberships. Shout out to you. Appreciate you.
Word.
Chill. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers have become the 3rd team ever to start 0-5 after making the finals, joining the 08-09 Cavs and the 01-02 76ers. Mm-hmm. Indiana currently has 7 players out due to injury.
Yep.
What are the similarities here between this team, the Indiana Pacers, the 01-02 Sixers, and the 18-19 Cavs? What are the similarities of those teams, if any?
Well, the similarity I can get with the 18-19 Cavs, well, they lost their best player, their best playmaker, their best distributor, their best scorer. They don't have that anymore. So when that's gone, this is not a next man up thing. When you have a specific type of play style, that play style is constructed around your best player's skill set. And with Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner, their play style was constructed around those guys and what they did. Tyrese Halliburton is such a great distributor, such a great playmaker. He plays with such a pace that makes them so much better. Ox, this season, they're playing at, I think, the 12th in the league in pace. They're 6th last year. That's double of what they were, right? Defensively, not just defensively, in terms of points. Ox, they're in the bottom of the league. They're in bottom 5 in points. Last year, they was at the top of the league in points. And that was largely due to my lead guard and Tyrese Halliburton controlling the pace, setting the tempo, being able to distribute the basketball, being able to score the basketball. This is not a next man up thing. On top of that, guys like Nembhard have been out of the lineup. In addition to Nembhard being out of the lineup, TJ McConnell has been out of the lineup. When you don't have these guys available and you already lost your point guard, well, what do you expect for it to happen? And then you lose your stretch 5. Ox, last season, they were in the top 10 in the league. They were in the top 10 in the league defensively in blocks. This season, they're below average. Like, I don't have my rim protector anymore. We were shooting the long ball better last year when we had our stretch 5 in in Turner. They're not doing that anymore. And the reason why they're not doing that anymore is because you don't have these two guys. I had to listen to so many people. Yo, I really like this Indiana team. I hated this Indiana team because there's no team that I've ever seen when you lose your two best players, when you lose your point guard and you lose your 5-man, that you just bounce back. When you just bounce back from that, you don't bounce back from that. No, absolutely not. This team is not good. Not only are they not good, I didn't have Indiana making the playoffs, and I'm still standing on that. I am.
Right, yeah, it's impossible for them to make the playoffs. Yeah.
I'll be blown away if this team made the playoffs. Blown away.
Only person that could save them, chill, is T.J. McConnell. So,
and he is in and out the lineup, and he's getting a little longer than too. By the way, I think he's 34, something like that. Getting a little older.
Chill, you know who's not in and out the lineup? Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard is not in and out of the lineup. He is not a healthy scratch. No, he is not. When we going down the tiers, Ox, Leonard, check. I'm here.
Yep.
Here.
Chill, another thing I want to talk to you about is the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, it says here that Jordan Poole and what's the young fella's name? Ryan Rollins. Jordan Poole and Ryan Rollins were traded at the same time from the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look this year, so far this season, Ryan Rollins is averaging 18.6. Jordan Poole is averaging 17.3. Did the Golden State Warriors mess it up this time?
Unfortunately, no. And here's why. And I know that you guys don't want to hear this, but remember in 2023, they were still trying to build around Steph Curry. They unfortunately held on too long, but they were still trying to build around Curry. In addition to them trying to build around Curry, you had the fiasco with Jordan Poole. He couldn't stay on the crew. I think he could have stayed on the crew, Ox, if we never saw that film. If that film never came out and this stayed in-house, I think Jordan Poole could have definitely stayed on the crew. This is something that, we could have handled at home. At that time, we didn't know who Ryan Rollins was. He was a second-round pick out of Toledo. They end up signing a backup in Chris Paul, who was actually viable, and they were still trying to compete. At the time, it did at the time that we still have to preserve the Steph Curry years because we might not have him for too much longer. So we got to figure out how we're going to hold on to him for as long as we possibly can, right? For as long as we possibly can. So with that being said, at that time, I understood what they were thinking. I didn't agree with it, but I understood it. I said after they won the championship, that year in 23 was the year that they should have blown it up, but I understood why they held on to those guys because, we were still trying to compete for championships.
Yeah, man. When that video came out, they should have got rid of Draymond instead, but
Maniac.
But
Golden State Maniac.
I guess it's okay to put your hands on. Never mind. Who cares? We don't want to talk about that. No reason to bring up all this stuff. I don't want the world to think Draymond's an angry black man.
But he is. Though. But he is though. Yes, 100%.
Adrian Mack with the super chat. Buzelis got a lot of flashes of a young Tatum. Do you see that when you watch Buzelis? Do you see a young JT?
No. Mm-mm. I actually see a younger Detlef Shrimp. That's what you remind me of. Yeah, those are the flashes that I see from him. Especially when he get the ball in the mid range. I love that about him. Like how he takes advantage of big guys when they get dragged away from the basket. Yeah, he reminds me of Detlef Shrimp.
Yeah, definitely drag you out to deep water.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Mack sent the super chat. Remember Kobe White coming back to this team.
That's going to be more offense that they didn't have. That's going to help them. Mm-hmm. And real quick, Ox, Black Falcon said MJ punched Steve Kerr. And I promise you, if we fast forward from 1996 or 1997 to today, and we saw footage of Jordan punching Steve Kerr in the face, it would be handled the same way with Jordan Poole. It would have got blown up, and Steve Kerr couldn't stay on that crew. No, he couldn't. That would have not happened. But go ahead, Ox.
JDC came with a member chat. They've been a member for 8 months. Shout out to you, JDC. Rui plus something for Herb Jones is the move. But plus
So
what?
they already gave up. They already gave up Dyson Daniels because he was a throw-in. That was the 6-pack that we threw in. Here's a bottle of wine in addition to me giving you. Here's a bottle of wine. So we're going to give up Herb Jones too, who basically is on a team-friendly deal. Nah, New Orleans ain't doing that. Hell no. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, they're really trying to get off of Rudy today. I mean, Rui, I'm sorry.
They are. I don't know what's going on, but yes, they are.
What did Rui do to y'all? DSG Piccolo. Last night was a movie, man. Great team win. If y'all don't know, DSG is a Portland Trail Blazers fan, and it was a heck of a win last night.
Yes, he is. Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, man.
Denim LV. Kawhi in home games this year, 36-4 on 57, 55, 93. Kawhi on the road is 14-5-1 on 38, 22, and 100. If he can find his game on the road, he might be all right.
Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe.
So that was against the Jazz. And what was the other?
They got blown out.
Oh, Golden State. Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Jazz and
Golden
the
State.
Jazz and Golden State. Right. Okay.
Blown out both games on the road. Smoked. Smoked in Salt Lake City. Smoked in San Francisco. Smoked.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, but if he gets those road games together, definitely will. That's a good point. Cowboy Bob said, "I'm here now." Cowboy Bob must want the smoke.
Clearly. Yo.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Leaf Diggy. What team in the East has the most televised games this season?
I would have to, if I had to guess, I'm gonna say the Knicks. I think that they got the most games on TV this season. I think it's the Knicks.
Yeah. We did go over this before already as far as who's gonna have the most televised games. Leaf, I hope you didn't miss that episode, Leaf.
Yeah.
But I do know what really shocked me was how many games the Boston Celtics still had this season. But I mean, hey, they're competing though. They're playing good ball. So shout out to them. I'm curious to know that chat. If you know who has the most games in the East, please let us know. And if you know how many,
I think it's the Knicks. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Chill. I also wanted to ask because I'm not too sure about the Donovan Mitchell situation. How hurt is he, and when will he be back?
I think it's a day-to-day thing. It wasn't anything that serious, so I'm not tripping on it. No, I'm not tripping on it at all. So he'll be back soon.
Okay.
This isn't anything serious. Nope.
Did you see Luka shake Vince Williams out of his shoe? This is a super chat from JDC6354. Chill, did you see that?
I also saw him miss the shot too. So it's $1 million move and a $10 shot. So yeah.
Yeah. When you got a dude falling all over the ground, touching earth and doing things like that, you got to finish the bucket. You got to finish the play.
It's like Ja Morant trying to dunk over Kevin Love. Great move, $1 million move, $10 shot. I'm good.
See, but Ja always does that. Like that's why I always say that. Like Ja, it's a lot of times he should just lay the ball up and he just goes and try to get a highlight reel. And it's like Ja, just come on, man, come on. That is the end of the super chats. We are at time, y'all. I know I got a couple of y'all in the lobby. Make sure you click that link earlier on Thursday, and we will be sure to get you up. Before we do run really fast, I do want to just remind y'all that today we have another full slate of games. We have the Kings versus Milwaukee, Minnesota versus Charlotte, Golden State versus Indiana, Orlando versus Washington, Houston versus Boston, and Dallas versus Detroit. Y'all make sure to turn that TV on and watch some basketball today. And that way you can get more engaged in the conversation on Chill with Chill and, of course, on the panel as well. Also, let me remind y'all that tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, tap into the press box. You can get some of the best NFL football talk there is to have on the internet. In the meantime, y'all, we'll see you soon. Chill.
Y'all know what it is. You know where to find me and the big fella. We on the panel every morning from 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, Monday to Friday. Me and my man, we here on Thursdays at 4 o'clock, and we here on Saturdays at 12 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock Pacific. So we will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. We'll see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys today. This was dope. No doubt.
All right, y'all, man. Make sure y'all watching some basketball today and tap into the press box tomorrow, man. We'll see y'all soon. And don't forget to never, ever, 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 ever drink and drive, y'all. We'll